right, so I am here to discuss with you guys a little bit about clicker training. What we're using today is actually going to be my foster rabbit, Molly. She is a foster through Earps Exotic Pet Rescue. Sorry, she's chewing on something, so I want to make sure it wasn't a cord. The purpose of my video here is actually because a lot of the fosters through the organization were interested in agility training, and agility training can be very, very simple when you use a clicker. So what we're going to talk about now is just the basics on clicker training. So just this, how to start it. I'm going to post a different video every single week on further commands. So all that we're going to talk about today is just starting clicker training, and then we're also going to talk about starting target training. Target training is awesome for rabbits specifically because then you don't have to bend down and try to coax them into different situations. You can use a long target stick. That way you can stand up and actually walk with them. So first things first, when we're clicker training, first thing you need is treats. Anything that the rabbits like is good. You want something small that they can chew really quick. So like if they like apple, you can chop up bits of apple. If they like carrots, you can chop up little tiny bits of carrot. I actually use store-bought treats. I use the Oxbow Simply Rewards. I use the banana, Luna. Sorry, I use the banana. The reason I use the banana is because it's freeze-dried in large chunks, so you can actually break it up into something small. So it looks like this, and you can snap off little tiny pieces. So it's easier for me that way. I personally will only buy the Oxbow store-bought treats. The biggest thing you want to look at when you're looking at rabbit treats is make sure that any of the store-bought treats are not high in sugar, because it's pretty common for any kind of small animal treats from like PetSmart, Petco, places like that to be pretty high in sugar. So I would always double check and make sure that anything that you're buying at a pet store is healthy for your rabbit. You also, of course, when you're clicker training, need your rabbit. So we are working with Molly here. And then you need your clicker. Now, again, your clicker, you can buy it pretty much any pet store. This one is from PetSmart. It's like $1. You can use, there's a lot of different kind of clickers. They have clickers that have like little hand holders, so it's easier to hold on to. They have clickers that attach to things. You can actually buy a target stick that has a clicker on it if that's something that you're interested in. I don't, because I don't always do target training with my animals. Especially because like my dogs and my bird, their target stick's going to be a lot different if I do it. I'm not going to use a huge one for my birds. But to start off clicker training, let's get to the point here. You're going to get your little treats, get a handful, like 5 or 6. All right, and you're going to get your rabbit. That's going to be my hard part because she found some cords. Now she is obsessed with treats, so literally all I have to do usually to coax her is just get that bag out. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a treat, give it to him, and click. Super, super easy. All right, now that piece was a little too big, as you can tell, because how fast or how long it's taking her to chew, but that's fine, because all we're working on here is just so that she understands that the click means something good. The more that you do this, the more what'll happen is that every single time you click, the rabbit's going to look at you or look at your hand or look for that reward. They're going to look for that treat, and that's exactly what you want. You want them to understand that click means a treat. All right, so after we've done this for a few times, that's when you can move on to your commands. So what we're going to work on today is going to be your target stick. Now, with Molly, I've already had her for about 3 days, so I've already been doing this every single day for 3 days. So she's kind of already grasped the concept of click means treat. Now, I would make sure to do this for a few days before you try to add any commands, especially if it's a new rabbit to you. So like with Molly, since she's brand new to me, she's a new foster, I'm not going to jump straight into commands necessarily that first day because she's not used to me. So the first couple days I had her, I just kind of let her get used to the house, let her get used to me. The second and third day is when I started doing the click treats. Now, I was not handling her. I did not pet her. I didn't do anything like that because I didn't want to startle her right away. I would literally hold my hand out like this, hold the treats out. Every time she grabbed one, I'd click. So I never forced her into it. All right, so what we're going to do now is the target stick training. Here's my target stick. Super, super cheap, super, super easy. It is a hanger with vet wrap and a ping pong ball on the end. Now, like I said, you can buy target sticks at a store. Don't get bored. You can buy them at a store. I would suggest something kind of small for the rabbits and brightly colored so that you can see it easier if you've got any kind of like dull background or anything like that. So what we're going to do with the target training is we're going to try and get the rabbit's attention. Now, she's already bored because I've been talking too much. Molly. Molly, come on. All right, so we're going to pull that target stick. Anytime she touches it, I click and give a treat. Now, there we go. Now, what I would do if the rabbit's not used to it, I've done this a couple times with her, so she kind of knows what she's doing, is kind of like get it, make it look really interesting, you know, play with it on the floor, things like this. Anything you can to make the rabbit want to sniff it, want to chin it, anything. As long as they touch it and you click, that's all that matters. Now, if you notice, when I click, Molly's looking at the floor looking for her treat. That's a really good sign because that means she's starting to understand what the actual clicker training is. Good job. Good girl. All right, so that's it. I'd probably do it, I wouldn't do too much, you know, 10, 15 minutes a day. That's about all that I would do. You could do it a couple times a day, but I wouldn't make your training sessions too awfully long because like you can tell with Molly, once they start getting bored, then it's not as interesting. So you want to keep it fun for them. That is pretty much it. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. I'll try and answer as fast as I can. Again, Molly is from EARPS, which is EARPS Rescue. You can visit their website if you're looking for adoptable animals. It's EARPS.org, EARPS.org. They are also on Pet Finder. So if you go to petfinder.com, they, I believe, are located in the Brownsburg area. So if you put that zip code in, you should find them. But if you put a zip code in on Pet Finder and look for adoptable animals, you should find all kinds of different rabbit rescues. I will always, always, always suggest getting a rabbit from a rescue because you know you know their personality, you know they've been vet checked, and you know their history, like spay and neuters, things like that. But all right, if you, like I said, if you have any questions, just comment on there. Let me know. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys next week.